Hello, 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 Wings of Wisdom, listening audience and Virginia's virtual viewers. I am so excited to have my very first international expert, Miss Carrie Ann McLean. She is the new author of Budget Right. She came from poverty to her passion, which is financial freedom, budgeting right. So I want her to give Virginia's virtual viewers and Wings of Wisdom listening audience a little backdrop of her pathway from poverty to mastering her money mindset. Miss Carrie Ann, give Virginia's virtual viewers a little bit about your backdrop and tell the audience how you mastered your money.
Hi, Virginia and everybody at Wings of Wisdom. Thank you so much for having me today. I basically had a lifetime of debt and negative money mindset, was not living in a great place, sad, depressed, and at the age of 51, I was homeless for a while. So at that point, I realized that I needed to take accountability and change my life. I have this hope inside me that, I can turn it around through the help of Jesus. It's just amazing. I went on this journey that was not easy. But now in my book, Budget Right, I share easy to follow tools that you can do it too. So that's a very short and sweet intro, and I'm sure we'll discuss it more. Yes.
So if Carrie Ann McLean can do it, Wings of Wisdom listening audience and Virginia's virtual viewers can do it too, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. When I was looking at your bio, there was 3 words that actually stood out to me the most, and the acronym is SAD, because you said you were stressed, you was ashamed, and you were also depressed. Mm-hmm. But I know you moved from that dilemma to now M&M, mastering your money and mastering your mindset. So tell me this, in Budget Right, what's like the first principle of understanding? Like, I know you said you need to like understand the mindset first, and also the triggers that help, those individuals who are dealing with these obstacles. There's certain triggers that they have on this spending dilemma. So emphasize on that for me a little bit.
For sure. So you need to, a lot of us in debt now have become what I would call mindless spenders. We don't put a value on our money. So what I recommend is, first you just need to stop, sit down and understand, why do you spend the way that you do, and what triggers you to go on a shopping spree or spend your money that's not in your budget. So once you identify, these have been my beliefs, this is why so some of the things could be learned behavior. You saw your parents or your family spend money this way. Sometimes it's status spending, which I love this explanation of status spending. It's spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't like. So, keeping up with the Joneses, and, that those people don't really care anyway. So just do what's right for you. So once you identify why you're spending the way you do, and if you have when you identify your spending triggers, so these are emotions or things that happen in your life that cause you to go out like, right, I'm going to spend money to make me feel better. So once you identify those, you can put a fix in place. It's not just identifying the problem. It's, okay, so we've got this problem. I'm angry, so I'm going to go shopping because I'm angry. What you will do is you will put a fixer in place. So when you become angry and you this is one of my spending triggers. So you put a fix in place. It's like, okay, instead of going shopping, I'm now going to, go for a walk in the garden, go sit down at home, read a book, call a friend, that type of thing. So you're putting something in place to avoid spending journey, that one for your spending triggers. So it's really your mindset. You need to think about what you're thinking about. And as most of us know, as a man thinketh, so is he. So what is in your mind? Just because you think of something, your thoughts create your reality. So if you have a negative mindset or a poverty mindset, that's what you're going to get. And you can change that through, changing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing your actions, changing your words as well. So it's the first step is to identify what brought you to this state that you're in with debt, and then to change it. And it will take time, but you can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Wow, that is so powerful to shift your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to identify those triggers, and you
Mm-hmm.
got to, I love what you said, you got to think about what you're thinking about. Because you're
Yes,
thinking this, but you're not thinking about what you're thinking about. You're just moving into action.
that's right.
Yes, so
Exactly.
it's intentional. I'm
Mm-hmm.
angry and I'm not going to do this, and you're putting a fixer in place.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you said Wings of Wisdom is built on biblical principles. And you
Yes,
said,
it
a
is.
way a man thinketh, actually in his heart,
Yes.
so is he. So
Yes.
that's who he is. And in Proverbs 4:7, it talks about wisdom, and it said wisdom is the principal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore get wisdom, and then in all you're getting, get understanding. So how does understanding, like truly understanding, the pathway that triggers you, your behaviors, how did that actually play an imperative role to help you shift?
Yeah. So if you don't know you have a problem, you're not going to make any changes. Um, being like not talking about your problem or identifying or calling it out for what it is not going to help you. You're just going to sit in shame and hide and not make any changes. So identifying these things and calling them out for what they are, changing your mindset, really makes you put things into action. So um, you need to change from, all right, I'm never going to have enough. I don't, money's hard to come by. I'll never own a house, or all this type of thing, to, you know what, I am a good steward of my money. I reap what I sow, because that's true. You do. If you're going to spend money on and not use it for a good use, you're actually sowing into garbage. So really look at all your actions and your thoughts and really step up, because God's going to give you the grace to walk through this. It's not going to be easy, but he's going to give you that grace to walk through it, and just rely on him. If you fall down, because nothing's going to, okay, click your fingers and everything's changed. It's not going to happen that way. But just keep taking those steps that you need to take, and have the belief that, the money that you have, God's entrusted that to you. So use it wisely and learn how to use it wisely, because if you don't learn, you won't know how.
Yes, yes. All these biblical principles, reap what you sow, and I am a good steward. Those are affirmatives that you
Yes.
have to say to yourself. And I know this is your passion, and you came from poverty, homelessness, addiction. So, what
Mhm.
shifted for you? When was that pivotal moment when you said to yourself, I got to get out of this? Was there something that transpired to make you not only get out of it, be financially free, but become an author and, on this accelerated journey to now helping others that's in the same situation that you're in?
Absolutely. Well, I throughout my life, through depression and not managing money, because money is a big thing and can cause a lot of people emotional problems as well. And the addictions that I had were gambling and alcohol addictions, which I share in the book. So they obviously didn't help with money either. So, there were a few times had suicidal thoughts, but I have always had this hope in Jesus that, okay, how is this going to play out? It has to get better. This can't be it. This is not my story. So when I actually became before I became homeless, though, I decided to learn how to budget. So I did that, and I paid out my debt, and I thought, great. And then I got back into debt, and a worse debt, and it spiraled out of control again. And then I became homeless. So I realized it wasn't just the mechanics of budgeting and learning how to use your money wisely, it's your mindset. I still had that negative mindset. I had my hope in Jesus, but I didn't change my negative thinking patterns. I didn't really think about what I was thinking about. So when I got back into debt and I ended up homeless, I thought, right, there's more that I need to do than just doing the mechanics of budgeting. And that's when God took me through this journey of, identifying these things. Budget Right is a holistic book that talks about mindset and budgeting and a whole lot more. And it really helps you to make that everlasting change. So for me, writing the book was a journey that I never planned to do, but I wanted to help others. Not sharing my story is not going to help others. And when I was going through my journey, I didn't have a holistic approach to just, pick up a book and go, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. So this is what Budget Right is all about. Obviously going through this, you identify triggers. It's a workbook. It's very interactive and gives you tools and tips to work through it, but also be prayerfully guided by it as well. So, this is my story, and everybody has a similar story, but it's their story. It's a little bit different. So I really recommend that with the tools that I offer, like the blueprint of getting out of debt and changing your mindset and your life, is very powerful, but please be prayerful about it as well.
Yes. Wow. Wings of Wisdom listening audience and Virginia's virtual viewers, are you grabbing these golden nuggets?
Yeah.
Because Miss Carrie Ann McLean is actually giving you a snippet of the blueprint in her book, Budget Right, all the way from Australia to the US. So I am grateful to have you on today. And I know that you said another biblical principle, your hope is built in Jesus Christ. So that's amazing. It's the blood of the Lamb. He has shed his blood so that we can not only have everlasting change, but everlasting life.
Yes.
So that's a blessing in a nutshell, to get the golden nuggets, do an everlasting change for yourself if this is a hurdle that you need to climb over, and have everlasting life. Because if he did it for you, he can do it for Virginia's virtual viewers as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he wants to set his people free. Debt, you're supposed to be the master of the money, not debt master you, and he tells us to be a good steward with our money. And we need to learn that. But a lot of people growing up were never taught that. We're not taught about money in schools. We're not, unless you go to church, you're not taught biblical principles, on managing your money. So, and you could learn these things, and you can make mistakes like I did. I made a lot of mistakes collecting off them, but that's not the end of my story, and I think it's really encouraging for me, like writing this book, sharing my story with other people. It took me a while to be comfortable to share my story. That was a healing journey in itself. But just know that when you start making these changes, It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight. But be kind to yourself, and really just keep that hope in Jesus. Believe in yourself, because He created you. You're amazing. Everybody is, that you have worth, you have value, you are loved. So remember that even on your darkest day, you are loved. You may not feel it, but just keep reminding yourself that you are. There's some days I can't even read the Bible. I just hug it. It's just like that's so yeah, just really be kind to yourself, and just keep going.
Yes, we are pieces of the master.
Yeah.
We come from the masterpiece. So,
Yes.
and the key is to master your money and don't allow money to master you, right? So, if
Absolutely.
you could give Virginia's virtual viewers one last golden nugget, if they're sitting on the edge of their seat and they're watching this and they're saying to themselves, your story is my story. I'm sitting here. I've been gambling, and I have this addiction, and I want to get out of this dark spiral place that I'm in. What golden nugget would you give that individual?
I would say confide in someone, because when I was going through that and that shame, you didn't want to share that information with your family and friends because you think they would judge you. Find that one person that you can say, I have a problem, call it out, because not calling it out is keeping it there. Now it's going to, you're going to need to be vulnerable. And if you have that one person that you can trust and say, hey, I'm going to go through this journey and I'm going to get out of this. And, through prayer and through your faith in Jesus, and with the encouragement of your accountability friend, or partner or whoever, will help you get through this. It's not going to be easy, but just know that calling it out, speaking it out, will help crush the shame and the control it has over you. And one other thing that I like to tell people with the gambling, because with me, it was like, oh, I just need to win my money back. You never will. So just like, okay, that's gone. Let's start again. And just like from now on, I'm going to use my money wisely. That's the past. It's history. Let's move forward.
Wow. Wings of Wisdom listening audience and Virginia's virtual viewers. She said, begin again. So if you're sitting on the edge of your seat and you're saying, this is my story as well, you too can begin again, and you too can soar on your own wings of wisdom. So how can they reach you? I have budgetright.com.au, Australia.au/about/.
Yes.
So yes. Is there any other method that they can reach you on, or that's the best way?
Well, that's obviously a really good story about me, but on social media, Facebook and Instagram, my handle is Budget Right Book, and on YouTube and TikTok, my handle is Budget Right.
Oh, okay. So you get that? So ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, now is the time to share on your electronic toys. We are so excited that you were able to lean in, listen, and learn. And we will see you on the next episode of Wings of Wisdom. Have a wonderful day.